Hello.
Popcorn and Pints, guys. We're here. Puerto Rican Chris is running a little late. James
We're
is
only,
with us this
we're
week.
only a dynamic duo at the moment.
Yeah. Which, I mean, the first episode, I believe me and you were on the technically it
I
was the
think,
second episode.
yeah, I
It
was
was
going to
me
say
and
the
you.
very first.
Episode was an interview, which I would like to reach out to her again because she was in a movie with Idris Elba up in
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Philadelphia. I forgot what the movie was called. I can always go back and look at it. But
Concrete. Was that the Concrete Cowboys one?
yes, I would love to watch that. What's good, Ronell? I'd love to watch that, review it, and then have her on for an interview.
We should 100% do that.
We should. We should. Yo, you got to get on. Yo, Ronell, in 2 weeks from this Saturday, in 2 weeks, we're doing Deadpool 1 and 2. So if you're free, join us.
Fucking Deadpool. I can't wait, man. I am so pumped up for those
2 weeks.
movies.
And I've never seen them shits before. So I'm fucking excited as shit.
That makes it so much better.
I'm excited as shit. Like, so, spoiler alert, I would just finish watching before I came up on here. Well, about a half hour, hour-ish. I don't know. Not important. But anyway, Infinity War. First time watching it.
You haven't watched Infinity War before?
No, and I watched it because of the podcast, because of Worst Damn Gamers podcast, Midnight Matinee, because we're reviewing that tonight at midnight Eastern time.
Since we're waiting for Puerto Rican Chris, quick take on Infinity War. Did you enjoy it?
I think enjoy would be an understatement.
Okay.
I was just like, and I was like, holy shit, because I'm thinking of like my favorite ones of the whole entire series, and when I think of them, I'm like, well, shit, I know this is my favorite, but is this fucking better? Like, is this? And it fucking is.
Yeah,
Like,
man.
Black Panther was my favorite one, and this was better than Black Panther.
If you like those movies in general, that movie just left me in awe, especially
The way
the final, especially with everyone coming back for the final fight there, the way they bring everyone in.
and then it's just like fucking the way it ends, and you're just like, fuck, Endgame. Now I gotta watch, which we're gonna be reviewing that, if I'm not mistaken, in 2 weeks. And if I have my Disney Plus situation figured out by then, I will probably be doing a stream lounge via Popcorn and Pints for not Infinity War, sorry, the next one, Endgame. I don't know what time exactly, because Saturdays I usually do OT, my other job, and then come home and do what I gotta do. So yeah,
Hey man, I'll even hop on for that one. That'll be fun.
that'd be fun. And I mean, if I can get on early enough, I would do both movies back to back. Both movies back to back. Maybe take a little break in between, maybe 20 minutes or whatever, however long you need to run, go to the bathroom, stretch, get something to eat, get something to drink. Let your loved ones, your significant other or whoever you live with, know that you're still breathing, you're still alive. You're just watching Deadpool 1 and 2, and probably drinking or smoking, having a good time. But
We are, we're in for a good time. So we're off next week.
In 2 weeks. Oh, I hear me.
Yep, yeah, that's my phone. So I'm trying to, of course, do all the social media reposts. I just cracked open the strong. This is my last beer of the night, so I just cracked open the strongest one I had.
Nice. What was I gonna ask? Now I forgot. Fuck.
So we're off next week. Next week is the con. Tell what's going on with this con.
So your boy Sir Sturdy got a table there, got some things, some vendor tables. But next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I will be at Fandom Fest. And there's the days and times. Go to fandomfest.org for more information. They'll have the most up-to-date information if anything changed. But I would love to see you guys there. I'm gonna have my podcast equipment there. I'm either gonna make an Excel sheet or have like a notebook with a pen. And for you people that show up to Fandom Fest and come to my table, buy some merch. Come on, hey, I would love for you guys to review this or be on this podcast and review this. And I'll even open it up to Popcorn and Pints, to non-horror movies for Popcorn and Pints as well. So you come up and you give us a movie idea to review, and we'll do, as long as we haven't reviewed it and as long as we can get to it, we'll do it, and we'll shout you out in the episode, or if you want to be a guest, be a guest. Just kind of open it up more for everybody. But yeah, Fandom Fest. It's gonna be fun. Can't wait.
And then Deadpool the week after, which is going to be fun. I'm so
Deadpool 1 and 2 with a possible, guys, like I said, it's a possible watch party via Stream Lounge. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go to click the link in the description. I believe I have a Stream Lounge link in this description, but I know it's on the Horror Story description. But basically, you can, as long as you have all the platforms that are on there, and I'm talking about the paid ones. If I'm streaming a certain movie, you guys can watch it along with me. I'm in control of everything on my end. Like I can pause it, rewind it. I'm the only one who can do all that. You guys can control the volume for yourselves on your end, but I can control the master volume for everybody. But I fucking love it, guys. I love it. Chris popped in for a few minutes, and
I got it up and running today to see how it works. It looks like a fun.
Yes. So just think of how we react to movies, like when we're reviewing them, like after we've already watched them. Now think about watching a film with us and just hearing, because the conversations are going to happen. We're gonna want to save a lot for the show, yes, which we try, but conversations are gonna be happening during those two movies. And I feel like whenever we do this, I mean, I know we're gonna try it for the Deadpool stuff, but whenever we really think of something and plan it out and do it, maybe like back-to-back movies and go right into the episode type of deal. That's gonna be a wild one, people. That's gonna be a wild one.
Yeah, easy to sign up.
Yes,
fun, easy interface to understand. There's literally hardly anything to it. There's a screen and there's your chat box, and you're just in it as soon as you log in. And is the Z Network logo on your shirt green because it's picking up your background?
It's like a pinkish, greenish. I forgot what color. It's like a mermaid, like a mermaid tail. That
yeah. Good enough. And for everyone out there, I literally just hopped off a Zoom call for a new podcast episode of Stories from a Bar. An awesome musician out of Baltimore named Ben DeHaan. So I'll be putting that together this week and posting that later this coming week, by next weekend.
Nice. So I did a stream last night. It was supposed to be Stir of Echoes, but for whatever, YouTube wasn't fucking playing it through Stream Lounge. So we ended up watching the first Insidious. I forgot how good that shit was. And in 3 weeks, I might do part 2. And the reason I'm saying in 3 weeks is next weekend I'm not doing anything for content like that. Content will be from the con and stuff. It won't be anything, So it'll be 3 weeks, because in 2 weeks I'm doing the movie Duel, some horror car movie. I've never seen it before. It's also on YouTube, so I'm gonna grab that
on the 18th.
Whatever that Friday is, the weekend of the 20th. The Friday after the Friday the Friday after the 12th.
All right.
That Friday.
I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I'm gonna get all up in the Sandman on Netflix.
I don't know what he means by that. I think we should just leave it there. Just leave it open, like the Sandman's gonna be tomorrow with Chris.
Rub some stuff raw. That's
This is getting out of hand already. We're only 8.5 minutes in, and it's only me and him. So
far. And we're killing time for Puerto Rican Chris. He's running late. It's gonna be I feel like it's gonna be a very quick talk about the ribbon.
I can guarantee that, because I don't have much to say, if anything, about that fucking movie. Like, nothing. Let's get into it. Fuck it.
All right. Yeah. Okay.
Let's get into it somewhat. It can still jumble around and shit, but I got nothing from this fucking movie, yo. Like, I tried to just sit there and pay attention to it, and it was just boring. And I don't want to hear it was in black and white. Those of you who know me, black and white's like a cheat code for me. You throw a foreign film on top of that, and I'm just like, I'm in. And I was in until the movie started. I'm just like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Why am I? What the fuck, yo? Like, I almost turned that movie off. And I'm just like, you know what? Fuck it, guys. I didn't finish that shit. But I toughed it out. And it was brutal. Boring as shit.
This movie was a fucking struggle. Like, I kept looking for reasons to pause it and telling myself I had to go do something else and get that done.
It almost felt like they took something from a book and put way too much into the movie without putting enough into it at the same time, especially with like action visuals or just confrontation or something. I mean, besides the father being fucking very abusive. But something that really stands out besides that, because that seems I don't want this to sound like I agree with it, but that's like normal watching movies from those times or watching documentaries from those times. You know what I mean? As far as like the abusive dad and all that shit.
Mhm.
But what was I gonna say? Fuck. I was going somewhere with that too, and I fucking forgot. But it was just it didn't. I don't know. It just didn't really. It didn't really hit me like, oh shit, like that's surprising or whatever. It was just like it just happened.
So
Like, kind of. I don't know.
it's a German film. I have absolutely no problem with black and white or subtitles or anything like that. That's fine. We've seen some good stuff.
Le truc, le truc. That was fucking amazing. However the hell you say that shit, le truc.
We've seen some good stuff. The movie came out in 2009. According to the director or the writer or both, so it was supposed to be. It's quoted as him saying it's about the roots of evil, whether it's religious, political, terrorism. It's the same thing. But we should also probably state, like, we talk about this movie feeling like it took fucking forever. I think the runtime on it was 2 hours 24 minutes.
Fucking too
And
long.
it felt so much fucking longer.
It felt like a 5-hour movie. Yo,
And I don't think there was any real fucking conclusion.
No. I watched, which they were good, but Anchorman and Infinity War back to back, which is basically like 5 hours. Those 5 hours felt way faster than that 2.5 hour fucking movie. Like those 5 hours felt like 2.5 hours, and that 2.5 felt like 5 hours plus. That's how fucking boring that shit was.
And I'll get more into my own thoughts as I was reading this, but what's interesting is, as I was looking into this movie, it was in development for like 10 years, and it was originally written as a miniseries for Austrian TV.
That would have probably been better.
And then no one was willing to invest in the project for like 5 years. So then the writer director decided to eventually revise it and release it as a film.
Fuck. Such a bad idea. Like that you know what? Let's get into this. Let's do this now. I'm ready. I'm fucking ready.
Oh, we're doing ratings?
Yes, sir. Ratings, no reason till we back up and we really talk about it, but -6.
So I don't do the negatives, so I'll give it a 1.
A 1. A 1.
Cage Rage.
Like it, yeah. Might as well say that, right? If he was in this movie, that would have just pissed me off even more, and you would have enjoyed that if he was in this.
First off, the longer this goes on, I think I sent this in our group text. It was 20, 30 minutes into the movie, and I said, I have no idea who any of these fucking characters are or how they relate to any other character.
Yep.
I'm like, what's the fucking story here?
Too much. Like it's one of those things where you really, really have to trillion% pay attention to it. And I guess like watch every single fucking detail, but it's so boring to where there's nothing exciting to look forward to watching. Because I don't mind having movies like that to where it's like, okay, there's something subtle kind of going on or something crazy going on. Here and there with horror movies, of course. But with this, it was like just there was no build, there was no nothing. There was nothing that really and you couldn't even attach to any of the characters to like root for them, to feel for them or anything, because you never knew what the fuck was going on.
No, all the characters in this movie suck. The kids are creepy right away. And the teacher guy hitting on the girl on the bike was weird. Just awkward feeling.
It was very rapey.
Very rapey. Yeah, there's like, I feel like there was like a subtle rape feeling behind this entire movie. Like the doctor is, I believe, fingering his daughter is the specific term used in the movie. His 14-year-old daughter. These are kids. The one kid gets beaten to the point of being blind. Like there's this weird shit going on. Like kids being beaten. The doctor and his horse getting tripped by that wire. And there's legit no conclusion to who's doing all this shit around the village. Like they post a theory. the narrator, the teacher narrator, suggests a theory at the end of the movie, and that's it. Like, what the fuck? Why like if you watch this movie and you're waiting for some kind of payoff after 2 hours at the very least, and you hear that, you're even more upset because there is literally no fucking payoff.
If it wasn't for the podcast, yo, like if I was just watching movies, I was like, oh shit, this movie's in black and white. Oh, White Ribbon, that's kind of an interesting, that could be a very interesting movie. It doesn't have really like a tough title, like something that's going to be wild. But it could have one of those kind of titles, like a comfortable title, so to speak, but then just be a crazy fucking movie. And it wasn't that.
And first off, I don't understand why it's even named that anyway. Like, there's 2 brief scenes where they talk about the preacher there with his big family. They talk about tying the white ribbon to their 2 kids to remind them, basically, to be pure and innocent. Not even 3 minutes worth of film where they talk about anything to do with a white ribbon. So why they chose to focus on that for the name of the movie, I don't know.
But would a different title even make it better?
No, not at all.
If you just call this movie White Motherfuckers Just Walking Around and Shit?
Future Nazis coming your way. There you go. It's kind of what. Think about it, though. Like, I want to say I read, or at least got that hint reading about this movie. This is kind of before the Nazis blew up.
Yeah.
So you're looking at basically these kids are the future Nazis coming your way.
Yeah, because this is like right before World War I, like a few years before. Correct?
Yeah. So if you're supposed to go into it knowing that context, they don't give you any of that context.
No,
they talk about the wars coming at the very end.
Which is fucking. They would have been better off making a World War I movie. And just kind of seeing like how they do with every other war movie, the good or bad. They show like the war scenes, a couple people surviving, a couple people dying, and there's some elongated speech. But it at least makes you feel more so close to it, depending on the shots. If the cinematography is perfect on it, and the acting has to be dead on for something like that, it's for you to take it serious.
I'm trying to even think of how to fucking describe this movie to people. I guess if you wanted to describe it in a positive light, it's the story of this German village with established families basically falling apart or hiding their secrets when some kind of protagonist that they never conclude who it is going around hurting people.
Yep.
I think that's an accurate description.
That's about
but in the most boring way you can think of.
Yeah. Yeah, there's not a lot of it's just oh
my gosh. There is, of course, the one scene that kind of cracked me up. There is the blowjob scene. There is a blowjob scene in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And man, did that doctor fucking put her down verbally. Like, holy shit.
Wild shit.
Basically, I don't even remember everything she said, but it was as mean as you could be.
Mm-hmm. But it's still just like nothing really stuck out for me. Nothing stuck out, and I didn't just like when this shit went off. I was like, "Thank you so fucking much." It was good.
There's the man.
No shirt.
The shirtless man.
It's hot.
At least he has pants on, guys. At least he has pants on.
I mean, we don't know that for sure.
Supposedly.
You know what? He's light skinned, so we don't even want to test him because they live by different rules.
Where's Jizzy James?
He's missing in action this week, and I think he should have to watch this white ribbon garbage as punishment.
Damn it.
Oh, so you want to tell him what the idea was to see how he feels about it?
Oh, I was jokingly suggesting instead of a hate wheel when we put on redo wheels, we do a punishment wheel of movies people will hate, but when you miss it, the only people that have to watch the movies are when you miss an episode.
Oh boy.
And
So
no, okay,
you have to watch an extra movie that you're guaranteed to hate, and then tell everybody else about it.
yeah, you have to tell us about it. But the one thing is, so like we
Oh,
were talking
shit.
about it, so it's like the only acceptable excuse, or not excuse, reason for missing that is literally for a funeral. Like
Death in the Family. That is it.
weddings,
I guess I'm gonna be killing a lot of people.
nothing else matters. Nothing else matters. And then, like, say if it's a week where I say, like, yo, guys, I can't record this weekend. Chris, you could take over that week, but if nobody wants to record, I'm not punished. But if you guys do record, I'm punished, and I have to watch it.
Oh, we will do it just to make sure we have to spin the punishment wheel.
Just to make it fair. So, because it's like, if Sturdy's not on, we're none of us are. You know what I mean? So just to
Yeah.
make it fair for everybody.
It's got to be equally fair.
I feel like that'd be a
I
fun.
thought that was a funny idea.
And then I have a question for you guys, for our viewers, because how I did this over on Horror War Source 30. I was making it the other night. Chris, you remember this? The love-hate wheel. But we let our viewers pick 2 movies, one they love and one they hate. Up to, like, say maybe 8 combos or some shit. So like 16 movies or something. Something like that. Nothing too crazy. But just enough so we have, you know what I mean?
Viewer's choice.
Yeah.
The punishment wheel might not even be an actual wheel because we'll want to guarantee it's a movie that the person that has to watch is going to hate. So we may have to.
We'll figure something out with that. Yeah. I mean, the only thing we could do is if we did a punishment wheel for each other. Like, for example, if we each sent each other a movie for Chris. You know, and then just threw that on.
The personalized punishment wheel. I like that.
Yeah. So yeah. We could even do that. Just add those extra wheels with all of our faces in the center. It's like, okay, so who's getting punished? who do they really fucking hate?
The person's face in the middle of the wheel. I like this.
Who do they really hate in movies? And that's all you put on those wheels. And we'll just say like one movie. You want to say one movie a piece to start it out?
Yeah.
One movie a piece because it's per wheel anyway. So one movie a piece per wheel. That's fun. That's fucking fun.
I think that's a funny idea. You've joined at a good time. We're talking about the white ribbon and how much Aaron and I are not fans.
Not at all.
I didn't follow most of it.
Let's see.
Yep.
What would your rating be? I gave it a -6. Chris gave it a 1.
Yeah, I mean, I best it's a 2, but I couldn't. It didn't keep my engagement enough, and it was just one of those. It's weird because it's a fucking movie from 2009 that's all black and white, and it's a foreign film that you got to read every single thing. And
I don't mind that if the story's good. Like if the story's like, oh shit, I don't give a shit what language it's in. But when it's like this, it's like they could have just fucking did it. I would have been fine with the English dub, and I can't stand those. Like just because it was that fucking boring to where it was like, if I keep reading this shit, it's like a bad books where you're just like reading something to go to sleep. Like I'm gonna fall fucking asleep.
I honestly don't even know what the movie was about.
Yeah, there was a part of me today where I completely forgot I even watched this fucking movie.
It's very forgettable, guys. It's very fun.
And there's literally no point to it. I feel like I'll forget, and again tomorrow I'll forget that I even watched this.
So we got punished for watching.
I don't understand. Yeah, I don't get it.
And so I think this is the first movie that goes on James's punishment wheel.
You think so? I mean, we could make
the only scene that in
this
this movie
really piss him off though. This movie would really piss him the fuck off.
Like, yeah, it would. Getting to know James, I think this movie would very much anger him. But I guess you could say there was some pretty good acting in a few scenes. The only scene that really sticks out to me, there's a scene where the Baron and the Baroness are having their dinner, and the Baroness tells him she's leaving with the kids. What's funny about that? I thought the acting there was good. There's a fly in the scene that I noticed. Like it's literally like on the table, on the dinner table, because I was so distracted looking for anything interesting that I noticed a fucking fly in the scene.
That's fucking funny. That's fucking funny.
Yeah, it was just very dry, very long, red, and like I said, it's not something that's there's really no engagement for fast moving pace stuff. No, like I can't connect with things like this. That's this slow and just this like I don't know. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know if my intellect is being questioned at this point with movies like this, but I just
nah. Because this movie here, I feel like the way this movie was drawn out was even a bad. If the book was like this, the book sucked. And I feel like the book was. If they did make a book, I feel like the book was probably better than this movie.
100% seems like a movie, a book that was based on a book.
But I feel like they pulled too much. I feel like they pulled too much from the book, but not like the good shit that drew people in to make people fall in love with that book. If there is a book,
I don't even know if there's a book yet.
It's like they put in the filler story instead of like the action. You know, the thing that you really want to see. They just took that, just completely. Like, you know what? No, fuck that.
There's no. I mean, again, you get to the end and there's legit no fucking conclusion. There's nothing. You don't know who did any of the shit that went on. Like the teacher narrator has the theory that the kids did it, but there's literally no indication, no evidence, nothing. There's no fucking conclusion, and I think that's the worst part. After suffering through this shit for the amount of time that I did to get to the end, and at least not have any kind of finality on it, I'm like, what the fuck?
This was like a bad. This movie was like a prank, a bad joke, like a punishment. This was, I don't know what the fuck this was.
Can you even try to explain the premise to me? Because like I've watched about 35, 40 minutes of it, and I just could not get into it. So
I just said before you came on talking to Aaron, if I was trying to describe this movie to somebody, I think the best way I would do it is that it's a German film. It takes place in a German village. It's a number of like established German families that just kind of slowly fall apart based on these events, like the doctor falling off his horse, the kid getting beaten. Like there's a little mystery in there, but in the most boring way possible, and there's never a fucking conclusion. I think that's it. I think that's the best I can do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's really all you can say.
That doesn't really sound appealing at all.
Huh?
That does not sound appealing at all.
No, it doesn't. And again, I'll never tell you not to watch a movie, but
I would not recommend it.
Oh, I would never recommend it. I'll say watch at your own risk. This is a high risk. Watch at your own risk if you were to watch this. I don't know what to tell you about turning your brain on or off type of movie, because this was just like a fucking try to just see what the fuck's going on.
And listen, German's not the most attractive language to try to listen to either.
No.
Like Spanish, French, I feel like that's more fun to listen to.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like German's a very angry language, and
like Japanese they all sound fucking angry all the time.
Japanese can be hit or miss. Like sometimes you can watch a Japanese movie and it's like
man,
soft spoken and subdued, and then all of a sudden it's like like what the fuck? Just
you're 100% right. And in both scenarios, they could just be asking someone how they're doing,
and then they're like, it's like konnichiwa. And it's like, hello.
No,
how's your mom?
Totally accurate.
Like, what the fuck?
I thought these motherfuckers gonna fight. And then it's the calm shit when the fights happen. I thought you wouldn't be here. Like, what the fuck?
I don't know, but I don't really have anything else to say about this. I'm surprised we even talked about it as long as we did.
I'm glad we're almost done with these types of movies on these wheels.
Yeah.
So very glad.
I am I'm totally sticking with my 1 just because it's a film.
I'm sticking on my -6 because it sucked. It was a waste of time.
It's a film and it's not Blood Lake.
It's definitely not Blood Lake.
But even Blood Lake might have been more enjoyable. At least I could make fun of that more easily.
Oh yeah, that's the good thing. That's a positive thing about it. Is Blood Lake is something that's Blood Lake is one of those movies that's like so bad and fucked up bad, like it's like no interest in it, to where it's just always gonna be in conversation of, have you seen something that fucking bad or worse? I guess for Chris it would be Weed Wolf. But overall, I think for me, I feel like Blood Lake was the worst movie in general.
Yeah, I almost raged going back into YouTube to like finish the tagging and all the shit on it and fix like the title and shit. I've been playing around with things, and when I got to that one, I almost just stopped for the day. Just like I was pissed.
Mm-hmm. It's so crazy how a movie can get you that pissed. Like that's how I was last week with that Nicolas Cage movie. The whole from start to finish. Even on the podcast, I had a little funky attitude. As soon as we started discussing the movie, I was quiet for a long time last week.
Man, no, I get it. That's how I felt for Simon Says and fucking Freddy Got Fingered.
Mm-hmm. You were so mad when Freddy Got Fingered.
I was almost as mad for fucking Simon Says.
Close, but Tom Green just does something to you.
Fucking Dane Cook too. I forgot how much I hated that son of a bitch because he's disappeared from pop culture for the last.
That's great to know.
8 years or so.
I already know what I'm putting on your punishment wheel.
Yeah. When was the last time he was out? 2014, maybe?
I don't even know what his last movie was. Actually, he was just in the news this week because he got engaged to a girl he met when she was a teenager.
Nice.
There we go with that shit.
I'm like, yeah, whatever. He's not putting out content I have to hear, so it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Not yet, until he starts making bad jokes about it.
No. I think it's just time to move on to Anchorman.
I'm cool.
Please. God, please.
For anyone tuning in, no wheel spin this week. Off next week, and then Deadpool 1 and 2 the following week, which is going to be fucking fun.
It's funny. I literally just watched them for fun the past couple days.
And it sounds like we're going to be putting together a punishment.
I'm fucking itching to watch them. It's going to be hard. Wait, I can't watch them this week because it's just too long until the episode. So I'm going to try to wait until it's closer to the episode to watch them. But I'm excited.
Just watch them twice. Watch them this week.
I could do that. I'm not going.
A good refresher. I might. We'll see though.
And you have. I'm almost. It makes it so much more excited knowing you haven't seen either one yet.
That's the reason. Like I'm thinking it back. I keep going back and forth. I'm like, I should just wait until we're gonna review it to watch them because I waited this fucking long. It doesn't make sense for me to say watch them tomorrow. So, because I want to give you guys like my first initial reaction when I'm watching. Well, after I watch it or whatever, or when I'm watching it from streaming it, which I wouldn't mind doing that. We'll see though. But yeah,
Anchor. It's time for Anchorman.
That shit was fucking funny. It was the type of movie though. Like I was watching, like I started smoking during the movie. As I got higher, the funnier the movie was for me. Like when I wasn't that high, the movie it was like more of a chuckle. But when I got high, I was like, hey, this movie's pretty funny.
It's a stoner movie. I mean, it's a fun movie to begin with, but I imagine if you're stoned, it's even better.
Oh yeah, just because the stupid humor is just so much stupider and funnier.
This is Will Ferrell at his peak.
Yeah. Go with these ratings. I'm gonna give this one as much fun as I had. I'm gonna give it a 6 overall, though. I laughed and all that good stuff, but it was a 6.
Thought it'd be a little higher for you.
I'm
going 8.
8. Okay.
Like I said, I think this was peak Will Ferrell in his heyday.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of where Sturdy was with his whole feeling before the effects started kicking in. I mean, this is like a 6 to me all day. It's a lot of that while you're watching it. Just crooked smiles and then one or two. And that's about it. That's where it kind of stops for me. Like, I didn't laugh out loud. I didn't burst out laughing through any of this movie. Whether I watched it back in the day or now, same deal. It was just like,
yeah.
And that's kind of where I leave it.
Yeah,
I always have fun with the end credits, though, because the bloopers and shit are always...
Oh, those bloopers were pretty funny. I actually that was the last note I wrote down was the closing credit bloopers. They even had the blooper of fucking Burt Reynolds in there from fucking Smokey and the Bandit.
Yeah.
They threw it.
Yeah, and they got credited on the end and everything too, and the credits were funny as hell. Like if he was part of the movie.
Yep.
Just for that little part.
Like they filmed so much for this movie, and the script changed a number of times from when they first conceived it, that they legit pieced together a second straight to DVD movie that was released with the DVD for this. Like
Really?
of all the outtakes, there was basically an entire different movie that was put out there. I know I saw it. Like it wasn't put on. It's not on any streaming services or anything like that. It was literally straight to DVD. Like it was a 2-pack DVD when you bought this movie.
They definitely had a second Anchorman, right? Or did they not?
No, there was a sequel to the movie, but this is totally unrelated to that. They used all that bonus footage and outtakes and stuff like that. And I vaguely remember Ron Burgundy and Veronica. I think they were kidnapped and they had to broadcast news from like inside the secure bunker in like a mountain or something. I don't remember what the actual premise of that was.
Yeah, I'm gonna go check to see where it is or whatnot so I can watch it because I don't recall seeing it. So it's like, all right, maybe it's worth a watch now. Because, like I said, 6 for me, it's not something I'm gonna actively just seek out. Now that I watch this one again, it's fresh in the mind. I'll do it to kill some time, get the second of it, and be like, okay, I'm done with that, and that's it. Because there's probably never gonna be another Anchorman. Thank God.
No, they're now. It took them, I think, like 13 years to make the second one.
That's
But
when movies are spread out like that. It's like, okay, if you can't make it within the first 5 years, it's like 6 years tops, maybe. Let's slow it down. 10 years is the absolute max.
I don't know, man. I feel like it's becoming more common for them to come back to franchises after a decade and make a sequel.
Definitely. Which
because they're running out of ideas and nobody has an original thought anymore. And the original thoughts that they do have, they're like, I don't know if that's gonna sell. We know this sold. Let's do this.
I think you're right with that, Crystal, but I also think it's more so. Well, no, you're right. Like I think it's not having confidence. Like this is good, but the crowd really wants this in it, so let me throw this stuff that's like right in their face in it that they'll really understand simply. They'll complain about it, but they're gonna get the stuff they really want in it. Versus like, let's do something completely brand new. Have a little things here and there, but other than that story, everything else is just different. And there's plenty of ways to do it. There's plenty of creative minds out there to do it.
I don't know, man. Like it's been years since I've watched this, and I was fucking chuckling to myself at a number of times while I was watching it. Like the cast is great. I love the cast. Steve Carell as the Brick character was just cracking me up left and right because he just says the dumbest straight shit. I don't like it's so stupid. Like I love Lamp. In the news channel fight scene, like where he has a fucking trident. He's like, I had a trident. I fucking killed a guy. He's like, and Will Ferrell's like, you should probably lay low. You're probably wanted by the law. I don't know. There's some real dry stuff in there that just fucking cracked me up. Just the way it was delivered.
And that's the whole thing. It's dry. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it got the smirk and the chuckle or the, and then that's about it. It's like, I want to die laughing. Like, I want to fucking burst at the seams. I want my stomach to hurt. I want my face to hurt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you're mildly funny or kind of funny. It's like,
That could also be a product of having seen this before. Like, I'm sure I didn't laugh as much as when I first initially saw it. So I'm just chuckling along with a lot of these jokes. Not busting out, huge gut busting laughs.
Speaking on what you guys are saying, though, more so on Chris's terms, because this is my first time watch for what you were saying. Like, you probably laughed more in your first time watch. And it was like I had a couple parts where I might have laughed out loud like once, maybe. Definitely chuckled, but it was nothing that made my sides hurt, my stomach hurt, the watery eyes. Like, that's what I want for a comedy movie. Because it's like, if we get that, it's fucking, that's funny. That's comedy. That's a comedy movie to me. Something that's going to make me laugh. So that's going to really make me fucking laugh. And this wasn't that. It was a 6 for comedy, which is like okay for me. Like, I feel like anything under an 8 for comedy is like okay. And this was definitely okay because it wasn't terrible. I've seen a lot worse.
Yeah.
But it was just like it was the simple Anchorman shit, lead guy, and then he ends up being the co-lead with the girl after a while. After he gets over his little ego and all that other dumb shit. but the story wasn't like I don't mind those stories, those like romantic comedies, but the story has to be more intriguing. And this story was like just something to throw together, just to have these two in the same movie together, and
Well, I mean, it was somewhat based on real people and news anchors in that time. Like, I think Will Ferrell based it on an interview, like 60 Minutes type interview he was watching about one female news anchor talking about her time basically in that period and how all the men and this just the sexism and stuff that existed. And that's where he kind of came up with this character.
Okay.
If you look it up, you can find the one or two people who legit based the actual Anchorman character on, who they claim, of course. But these are some of my favorite comedic actors. Paul Rudd, who has looked like the same person for the last 40 years. He's fun as Brian Fantana, his fucking Sex Panther cologne.
Yes.
Right at the beginning where they're in the party scene where he's like, in case you're wondering, yes, I did nickname my penis. It's called the Octagon. And he also talked about naming his testicles. I forgot what he was. It's like one of these days you'll meet the whole gang.
Like, see, I'm smiling. It's not horrible. It gets you there. There's a couple key moments, but like I immediately was like, you know what? I want to laugh. So I watched Old School right after this, and I was like, Spanish Blue, fucking,
Did we not?
I think we did a while ago. I think
I was gonna say, I thought I watched that recently.
We watched so much shit.
It's funny that we've been doing this long enough.
Yeah,
it's funny that we've been doing this long enough where I'm like, I forgot the movies we watched to review this because we've watched so many.
Yeah. And it's like, fuck, did we watch it? Like, we'd have to literally go to the YouTube search thing, Popcorn and Pints, blank for whatever movie. Okay, so we did review this. Oh, shit.
What's fun about rewatching Anchorman is like there's a lot of quotes in here that I still hear. Like, I'm in a glass case of emotion. I think that's something people still say sometimes. That's funny. After Jack Black kicks Baxter off the bridge, that cracked me up. Come on,
that's probably the two key points.
Burrito.
Milk was a bad choice. That cracked me up too.
It was like it was a fun movie. I'll give it that. It was a fun movie. It wasn't like a movie like a fuck. I watched that shit like it was.
I will say my favorite quote in this is when they're running the closing credits to their news broadcast, and Ron and Veronica are insulting each other, and Ron says, "I'm gonna punch you right in the ovaries, right to the baby maker." That's my favorite fucking quote in this movie.
Oh man, this movie was fucking funny though. This movie had, like I said, not like hilarious, but it had its parts. Definitely worth the
And
six.
I would like to point out how racist this movie is. Okay, with Ben Stiller's Latino.
Oh yeah.
I did laugh at that part. I'm not gonna lie. I laughed at it. And then Danny Trejo trying to give like a pep talk. Gets told basically shut up, and then he gets the phone call. He goes into the bathroom, comes right back out with the cut scene. Like this movie had two scenes where you can tell the edits, and it was when the dog gets punted and when he changes fast in the fucking bar scene. And he just like Danny Trejo, damn, he cleans up good. Like,
I don't understand Spanish. I was like, that's something
I was like, fucking sturdy.
He's talking to his dog. You know I don't speak Spanish.
Yep. So he brought that up a couple times, which was funny.
Oh, when he's talking to the dog and he's like, "You pooped in the fridge and you ate a giant wheel of cheese?" I'm not even mad. I'm impressed.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
That'd be
I appreciate just the absurdity because there was a lot of improv with these actors. And again, like just from what I was reading, they would do 20 different versions of lines in some of these scenes. That's how they ended up with so much to where the director put together a whole second fucking movie.
That's crazy.
But just that kind of talent. So I love that, knowing that and the improv and some of the lines. It's always interesting the lines they choose to put in when you have that kind of material.
Word. Yeah. And what they didn't put in because I wonder what lines they didn't put in because they were afraid of backlash. Like those are the lines I would love to see. Not necessarily the ones they didn't find too funny, but the ones that were like, you know what? If we put this out, this could fucking, you know what I mean? Those are the ones that are probably like tear jerking in a funny way, type of holy shit they went there. And those are the scenes that would help this movie a lot because you needed those type of scenes for this.
Yeah, that was 2004, so almost 20 years ago at this point.
Yeah, like the end credits, one of the bloopers is Christina Applegate and Will Ferrell sitting at the desk. The credits are rolling. They're going back and forth, dissing each other. And I forgot what she said to him, but it like got him stuck. He was like looking for something. Oh, what? What? You got nothing to say? Oh, I got plenty to say. Like you dirty whore or you dirty bitch. And she just couldn't hold it back. Yeah. She just couldn't hold it back. Like I feel like that would have been kind of funny, but she couldn't hold it in.
I mean, I still think this is one of Will Ferrell's best movies. It's one of his better movies. It's a fun watch, especially if you haven't seen it before.
Definitely a fun watch. I'll give it that.
And if you have seen it before, it's always fun if you come across it to leave it on for a few good jokes.
As in, really quick, I got a question for you guys. I have my answer right in mind. I'll even start with my answer. What's your favorite Will Ferrell movie? Just choosing
1+1.
Is that a real movie?
No.
No. Because I wouldn't be surprised if he was in a movie called 1+1. That's why I was like, wait a minute.
I don't know. It might be Old School is probably up there.
I'll tell you mine.
Right.
As corny as it is, as corny and as cheesy as it is, mine is Elf. I just enjoy that shit. It's a year type of deal for me.
Elf's good, but I'm not a huge fan of holiday movies in general.
I listen. I'm a like secret closet type. I love them shits. Not like my wife does, but I love them shits.
And it comes out here on Popcorn and Pints.
Any genre, I love them shit. They're just fucking entertaining.
He's a closet type.
I don't know what it is. Like, just holiday movies don't intrigue me at all.
I can see. Is it because they're like too like you already know the stories are damn near the same?
Yeah, that's part of it. Like, it's not gonna involve anything personal to me. It's gonna be about fucking the holiday, and I don't give a shit. That's kind of part of it. Oh, Will Ferrell.
Couple good moments in Dick. He had a couple good moments in Ladies Man. He had Superstar was okay. I mean, it took me a while to start laughing at that movie. When I was younger and it first came out, it didn't hit. But as I got older, I watched it. I was kind of chuckling at it, kind of like the rest of these movies. Night at the Roxbury. I mean, iconic with the whole Ned Knock thing, but that's about it from that. Wedding Crashers. He had a couple cool little spots. Old School for sure. Talladega Nights is probably, now that I think about it and it comes up, probably my top with him.
Really?
And yeah,
I like
Step Brothers.
Oh, it's fucking Step Brothers. That's it.
Get Hard.
Get Hard.
Yeah, and then
we reviewed that.
Daddy's Home. I haven't seen. I remember Zoolander. Zoolander's another one. Both of those are another like. All right, yeah, cool. I can watch it probably.
Yeah, he was not a main character.
Yeah, he just had a few little cameos or whatnot. I mean, he was the evil guy in them.
Daddy's Home.
Zoolander, but yeah.
The first one I seen was pretty funny. That with him and Mark Wahlberg, whatever.
Oh yeah,
Marky
that was a good one.
That was a good one. I didn't see the second one. At least I don't remember seeing the second one. But the first one, it was cute. It was one of those cute, funny, fun kind of romantic comedy movies, but it would make you chuckle, make you laugh at some parts.
Honestly, you know what? He's had some good serious actor roles too. For people that think he can only do comedy.
That one we reviewed. Oh fuck! What was it called? Where he was? This was like from the early '90s or whatever. He was young as shit.
Stranger Than Fiction, or
that was a good one. Everything Must Go is good.
He was like this crazy kid. He was obsessed with this one chick and ended up killing a bunch of people and shit.
Suburban?
I forgot what it's called.
The House was decent.
Oh, Semi-Pro. That was fun.
Okay, yeah, that was all right.
Sorry, with Marky Mark, not with Will Ferrell.
I think Step Brothers might be my favorite movie of his.
That movie is funny as fuck.
Yeah, for me, it's top 3 is probably I would have to place them Talladega Nights, Old School, and then Step Brothers. Or on another day, I might be Talladega Nights, Step Brothers, Old School. But those are definitely in the top 3 for me for him.
Yeah, me would be Elf. I don't know, Step Brothers. That
Fuck
third,
Elf.
because that shit just. And what it is with Elf, I come back to that more because it's one of those movies I watch. Like my wife watches
Like every year.
Yeah, the wife every season she has like her movie she watches. Some I watch with her, and that's one of those. So I'll try to watch that. One that we both enjoy, laugh at, and all that stuff.
That's gonna be like Mariah Carey's "All I Want for Christmas." You know what I mean?
It already is. Like I feel like every Christmas movie already is. If it's been out for X amount of years, because people watch damn near, maybe not all of them, but people watch damn near the same Christmas movies every single year. Whether it be remember the Frosty the Snowman cartoon shit with the there was the Rudolph one, there was the Frosty the Snowman, and there was the there's another one, I forgot what the fuck it was. But I believe it was a third story. I don't know if it was the Grinch, maybe. Yeah, there was a Grinch story. Anyways, those cartoons, which I want to watch again. But there's like that. There's the Home Alone movies, Santa Claus, and a couple other ones you throw in there. And people just watch those same ones. Like my wife watches those same ones on specific days. Like that's how dedicated she is. Like she has like her, I believe Harry Potter she watches around Christmas time too. So she has like her. It's so crazy how she does them. So I'm impressed. I'm like, holy shit! And you always do it around the same time every year.
I gotta go back and watch Bewitched. I haven't seen Holmes and Watson, and I haven't seen Eurovision yet.
Oh, I forgot about Eurovision. I think that was actually getting pretty good reviews. That's what the Blades of Glory. That was fun.
Yeah, the roller skating one, Blades of Glory.
Skating one.
Hey, mama.
What up? What up? What up?
Your real son's not here.
Yeah, well, we are her real sons. That's why she showed up for us.
Now you know which ones really count.
I know. We're the ones that care.
Just us 3. Yeah, the rest, nope. Do that snap. Don't make them die or nothing. Just do that snap and get them out of here.
What's everyone?
I don't remember the campaign either.
What's that? I know I watched it, but I forgot it. Was Zach
Galifianakis, yeah.
It's got to be a lot of hard work keeping that beard for literally 20 years.
Look at that. He sucks. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. The mother of the podcast has spoken. James, you suck. Mom said it.
What a waste of egg and sperm.
First said it.
That's true.
Fuck. But back to the Anchorman though. Did you guys said you seen the sequel or no?
I've seen it. I don't remember it.
I'm not gonna say I definitely will, but I might check it out one of these days.
Wait, which movie?
The sequel to
Anchorman.
I know I've seen it. I just don't remember, so I'm gonna have to watch it again.
Everyone that's ever watched the sequel, I'm sure that's the exact phrase they will say. I've seen it. I don't remember it.
Fuck that.
The fucking
and not because it was bad, I'm sure, but because it was just more of the same.
I think I was gonna say it's because of that and because part 1, like you didn't outdo part 1. You may have just got at the very least, maybe to say you've got maybe just as good as it was, but you didn't do any better. So then it kind of makes you feel. It kind of in that sense makes it a little worse because you're like I'm expecting a little bit more, and you basically gave me the same shit.
IMDb, it appears Will Ferrell has a part to play in the new Barbie movie coming, but he also filmed a movie with Ryan Reynolds, a holiday musical that's coming.
That's gonna be fucking ridiculous.
So that's why they were putting up TikToks and stuff together.
Yeah.
Nice.
Which means we're probably gonna end up reviewing that movie on here. So
that I'm gonna have to watch.
Be on the lookout for that because we're gonna end up doing it. I'm not even gonna lie.
I assume that's got to be coming this year. I assume because I feel like they've been talking about that for a long time.
Let's hope so.
I don't really have much else to say, man. I'm sticking with my 8. I still think this is one of the landmark Will Ferrell movies. If you haven't seen, you've missed out on. If you have seen it, it's still worth leaving on if you come across every once in a while for some fun, a little fun jokes and entertainment.
I can agree with
Yeah,
that.
so was Night at the Roxbury like the first movie he was in?
I think that that was
98.
early in his career, man, with Chris Kattan.
Yeah, Dick was 99. Roxbury was 98.
Damn.
Back in that was my heyday of SNL, was the 90s there.
Superstar was 99. Tim and Eric's was 12. Zoolander was 01. Wedding Crashers was 5. Damn, okay. Stranger
He's
Than
playing a lot of
Fiction
stuff.
was 06. Megamind 2010. Forgot about that. Yeah, I think that was one of his first movies, or the first that he was actually in. Interesting. Nice, nice. I'm with it. I'm with it.
He's with
Final thoughts?
it.
Worth a watch if you've never seen it for sure. If you want to return to something that you might get a laugh or chuckle, definitely go ahead and do it. I'm
Yeah.
gonna stick with my 6.
About you, Chris? Other Chris?
Oh, I said I'm sticking with my 8 by far. I still think it's one of his Will Ferrell's landmark movies. Definitely watch it if you haven't seen it. And if you have seen it, stumble across it. It's always fun to leave on for a little bit and recatch the jokes.
I
A
agree.
lot
Oh,
a
sorry.
lot of great quotes that came from this movie, like I talked about. I still love the quote "straight to the baby maker."
Straight to the kisser. Straight to the
Uh,
bed. That is
yeah.
a fun.
Go back to your home on Whore Island.
That was fucking funny. Then when she said something about his hair, first person I thought of was Chris.
Jazz flutes for little fairy boys.
He just flipped out. That and your hair looks stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, I didn't expect her to grab. Okay, so this is the part that I laughed at. That fight scene was funny as shit to me when he grabbed her and threw her across the
Picks
table.
her up and throws her across the fucking table. It's like he had to figure out what he was gonna do for a second. Like you can almost see it on his face. Like I don't. All right, fuck it, and he just went for it. It looks like that might have been in the moment.
That was funny as shit.
One scene that cracked me up. The news channel gang fight, and Steve Carell he's just walking around holding the hand grenade.
Like what the fuck?
Where'd you get a hand grenade?
I don't know.
Yeah, that was his character was kind of funny too. Like just because it was so, like 1-2 words is all he's saying basically. Like I would say a 4-word sentence max, and then that's just it. It's like, oh shit, this guy's fucking ridiculous.
On to other stuff though. I'm curious thoughts on the recent Batgirl cancellation. Since
I think it's bullshit. Like
100%.
You know why I say that too? And this is me, DC. I do owe you guys an apology for one fucking movie so far, and that's the Batman. I fucking loved it. And I'm like, okay, so when I heard about the Batgirl, I'm like, okay, I don't know if it's the same people that were doing it that did the Batman movie, but I would hope so. And I'd be real interested in seeing how they do that story. But I think it's probably different creators.
100%. It wasn't anyone involved. Matt Reeves directed the Batman. He's not involved in Batgirl. The only thing I know about the writers and directors from Batgirl is they did a couple episodes of Miss Marvel and something else that I can't remember. Can't think of. But I don't know how you just fucking shelve a $90 million investment.
Heads had to fucking roll.
And what concerns me is so Warner Brothers and Discovery, or whatever the fuck it is, they merged. Now they have this new CEO. What concerns me is his statement saying they want to focus on strictly, when it comes to the DC movies, big theatrical events.
And that'll be it.
That concerns me because I feel like they're not going to care about the quality of story, just who they can get to fucking star in these movies.
It's going to be that in the visuals. Like, oh shit, this looks.
They're going to take a step backwards in time and go to the 80s or 90s where they were just trying to sign big fucking names and not give a shit about the story.
So, one of the reasons why I really wanted to see this movie come to fruition was that I recently saw the Black Adam movie or trailer, and then went to see what else they were doing. We already knew Flashpoint was coming. We heard about Michael Keaton's return, all this stuff like that for cameos and shit like that. But once I saw that Black Adam trailer, I was like, "Yo, this actually looks like they might have gotten their head out their ass." And I was like, "This is exciting me. This is finally." It's still not to the point that Marvel makes me get hyped about, but it feels like they're on the right path. And not for nothing, The Rock usually doesn't take shitty roles at this point in his career.
I mean, Black Adam's a passion project for him. He's been working over a decade to try to get that made. So I have no doubt he put every ounce of his being into it.
And then for them to have Pierce Brosnan in it, I'm like, I don't know. This is starting to look really fucking good, man. Like, really fucking good. And some of the visuals and shit that they used, I was like, fucking A, finally, DC, you're going to put out some quality shit after you learn from fucking Aquaman and this other shit that you've been doing, and now you have 14 different universes that you no longer say have anything to do with each other, and just ignore them. They don't even exist at this point. We're not going to touch them or use them ever again. Like, it just made no sense to me. And then to finally see something that got me excited, and then to hear projects like Batgirl was coming. We already know Titans. We saw the last Suicide Squad that actually I enjoyed. Then we got the show Peacemaker. It's like finally maybe they're holding on to that momentum and pushing this fucking boat down the road in the right way. You know what I mean? And then now they're like, nah, we're going to focus on things that'll be big theatrical releases, and we don't feel this is it. You just spent big theatrical release money on the budget for this fucking thing, and you're telling me it didn't still fit the bill? So much to the point that you said we're not even going to release it.
Apparently, I don't know. It wasn't worth the tax break.
I feel like
release it.
Here's why I feel like.
Yeah, but what else about the story did they decide was going to be either too much or too not enough for the public or for society at this point?
The interesting part is because of that, it's only made people want to see it more.
Right.
Yeah, it's that, and then you got to think of, okay, there's a Batgirl, so there's a female Bat lead that maybe the females wanted, maybe some guys wanted. So it's like the girls that are in a relationship is like, hey, babe, take me to the movies. I want to see this. And you're like, oh, shit, I want to see this anyway. Fuck. Even better. Look, girl to go see this movie type of deal.
Whether it was intentional or not, there is 100% a sexist overtone to the decision just because of the female lead. But how do you not have a big theatrical release or plan for it when you literally have the return of fucking Michael Keaton as Batman in this movie? This was going to establish his return into their DC universe that they're planning, because he's supposed to show up in the Flash movie, which now that's the big controversy because Ezra Miller is a piece of shit.
Fuck him.
And, but
what happened to him? What happened with him?
Didn't he kidnap somebody and it was
abusing? He's fucking insane, dude. He is insane. He's been arrested twice for literally throwing chairs at people. He's
attacking people.
He's taking people hostage. I don't know. He's gone insane.
Mm-hmm. So the money in Hollywood's got to him.
I guess.
But you know why that movie's not going to get canceled? Because they spent twice as much on that as they did as Batgirl.
And who the fuck is he? Where did he come from? Why did he ever get a role like this?
I don't know.
See,
and this is why I'm like, why didn't they just use Grant from the fucking show?
Oh my god, that would have been perfect.
You know what I mean?
Like that cast would have been perfect. Just take that Arrowverse cast for the most part and just make movies out of that. Because you already have the story, you already have the connection, and you already have they've been working with each other for over 10 years now, so it's like we could easily do it. You know what I mean?
See, and then you got Marvel that made all of these movies and then took those major people that were in the movies and made shows out of them. The people already have the connection. The people already have the desire. The people already are comfortable and familiar. They're already hooked. Nope, DC does the complete opposite. We're going to create something people fucking love and adore and fucking track for years. We're going to make it shitty. We're going to cancel them. And then we're going to redo everything all over again in the cinema and act like none of that shit mattered or existed. Like it's a slap in the face to the fan.
It is. It is.
And to the actors and actresses that spent their fucking last how many years of their career creating these characters and sticking them and being consistent and like making people understand that they are this character. Like,
Like,
To me, no one else can be Queen. No one else can be Oliver.
And from even from the articles I'm reading, there's where they're supposedly quoting these people that work in the industry. Everybody's like that they get quotes from that want to remain anonymous, bro. They're like, this is fucking unprecedented. I've been in this business so long, I've never seen any kind of company, movie production studio do this. As an actor, why, if you're an up and coming actor and you have options, why would you want to do any movie that WB Discovery is now associated with, knowing that this is a possibility now?
Because maybe it's one of those things where it's like, yo, this could be my big break. Like everybody, you know what I mean? Because
it's an interesting position for the actor. You're torn because they seem like, just from the casual fan and the impression I get, whoever's running that company seems like a fucking douchebag. Yep. It seems like their focus is on the wrong things 100% now. But now, and if people are going around, literally everyone in that kind of field of that profession saying they've never seen shit like this, now you open a door like, what else can they fucking do? If they're going to start canceling shit, why waste your time trying to make movies for them? Obviously, as an up-and-coming actor, you're in a difficult position. You're trying to make a name for yourself. You're signing deals. You're trying to make money, trying to make a living.
Yeah,
I don't know.
At the same time, you can look at it like, what if that film is let's say, just because it's the most recent one, what if that film is the Batman? If it's on that level of all around light, whether you gave it a 7 or a 10, just between those, where it was like all around, for the most part, it was all around, like even through, I'm just counting like social media. I know it doesn't matter, but like social media, all that shit, like everything I've heard from it, for the most part, was positive. And so like, we're expecting that. Similar with Marvel. Like Marvel has these great, amazing movies, and then the next ones, sometimes they're even better. Like Infinity War, when we talk about that later on Midnight Matinee, guys. Oh my gosh, I can't fucking wait. But oh my god, that movie is so incredible. That movie was so fucking incredible. But
he's lost.
But no, what I'm getting at is like, you want to be lost in a movie like that, to where you're thinking of like, holy, what the fuck? How did they fucking top these movies? In DC, I feel like they did it with the Batman, and now it's like, at least make it at that level or as close to that level as possible. Don't drop the ball with the next film, especially if it's attached to this world with the Batman. Don't drop the ball bad with it, because you guys have the habit of doing that. You'll have 1 to 2 great starters, and then that third one, it's just like, oh my gosh. And you're like, you know what? Let's see what they do with the fourth. And the fourth one's like, what the fuck? You're just like, what the fuck? Come on, really? Like, I wasted my time for this shit. And do better, DC. Do better.
I don't know, man. I'm going to be super curious to see what the studio does over the next few years. Mm-hmm. How they try to come back from just the backlash they've gotten. Because now the big focus is literally, once Batgirl got canceled, everybody's attention turned to the Flash movie. That's been announced and in production since the show started. And the show is now being canceled after how many seasons?
9.
And the movie still hasn't fucking come out. But because Ezra Miller has gone off the rails, or like, how can you still put this shit out after? How can you justify putting this shit out?
Especially after the other movie.
After Batgirl for literally no reason.
You know, and then to your point that you were making about actors and actresses, you know, having to second guess whether or not they're going to sign on to do a project like this or whatnot. Yeah, you get paid already. But at the same time, if you were hoping for this to kind of help your career, push you forward, like, she's not even getting the hope, or they're not even getting the hope that, hey, this is at least going to go straight to stream or something. Like, not even like, hey, we're going to turn it into a series, because they already got the Batgirl series from the Arrowverse, which is going to get canceled fucking pretty soon, I'm sure, if it hasn't already.
I think it did.
And
it did.
Oh, it did. So it's like, come on, man. Like, you guys just really don't give a fuck. You literally just want to go, hey, let's put something together good enough that we can put some money into. It's going to look nice and polished. It's going to be shit, but people are going to still eat it and buy it like a top name fucking franchise restaurant, like a box restaurant where the food's not the greatest, but they're available everywhere and we just get people's money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Listen, I don't know the story of Batgirl's origins or anything like that, but I feel like
supposed to be Commissioner Gordon's daughter, Barbara.
word.
That's about the extent that I know. And I don't know how she gets into becoming Batgirl and stuff like that. But I feel like it's a quality-wise, I feel like the way to go about it, especially if you have fucking Michael Keaton coming back to play a role as Batman, I feel like there's first off, there's your big moneymaker. I think what you need to
hard.
I would have seen that in theaters. I would have went to go pay it in theaters.
I think if once he signed on, and you need to focus on the quality of story you're telling to establish Batgirl. Bringing Michael Keaton in is the bonus that's going to probably put some asses in the seats by far. And those are the people you want to attract with a good story. If you can write a good story for establishing Batgirl and have Michael Keaton there come in as like a mentor, I think you got a good fucking movie.
See, I think they also fucked themselves on the doorway to establish a new foundation for Batman Michael Keaton universe to continue another movie starring Michael Keaton with the focus as Batman, either transitioning to like older Batman, transitioning to like Batman Beyond, Terry McGinnis,
that right there would be what you just said would be fucking perfect.
What are we gonna do? We're gonna have fucking Ben Affleck big as fuck as the Batman that transitions to Batman Beyond.
Like gonna be an Aquaman too.
Oh my god,
it makes no sense because they said they weren't doing nothing else with the Snyderverse, which is the Ben Affleck fucking Batman. So I'm so confused.
I also saw an article saying they had a scene that they cut of Michael Keaton's Batman and Aquaman too because it made no sense because he wasn't established in Batgirl yet.
They're just doing shit.
I don't know. DC they're totally fucked up. They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
You know what it is? It's like they're throwing the bait out there to kind of get you in, but then like you go and watch it, a few DC heads go and watch it, and then you hear all the bad reviews for it, and you're just like, you know what? Usually when there's this many with these type of movies, there's not just trolls, it's really people that are really into this shit. They're probably really bad. It's like I'm not gonna go see, I'll wait for them to be on streaming or whatever, or watch it however I watch it. I'm not gonna go rush out and see it, and that's how DC's been lately. And
one of the other problems I think we have is they're not focusing on allowing the same group to establish, write, feel out all of these stories so that Marvel did with the writers, with U.S. with Kevin Feige, with John Favreau, like all of these people like worked on all of these projects together in some aspect or another to make sure continuity is there, to make sure that the story is continuing to move, it's driving so it forces forward, it's closing and concluding certain things, like, and adding all of these other details in. And then you have all of these people that are super passionate about it, not only working to write, but they're behind the scenes on the costumes, they're doing videography or cinematography, they're doing the soundtracks, like they also just wanted to put out the best quality thing that they could telling these stories. And DC's just like, all right, we got you for this now. All right, we got you. We tried you, Zack Snyder. All right, bring in the gun again and then do this. All right, he did good with the show. Give him another movie. And they're moving people around, but there's no consistency in the brain and the thought behind who's pushing it forward.
No, you're 100% right, man. I think from what I was reading, they're basically trying to hire someone for that Kevin Feige type role because they don't know what the fuck they're doing. From what I can gather, just reading the articles, stuff coming out, they basically are just gonna fucking put the kibosh on everything they had going and restart.
Shit, man.
But how many times can you fucking do that, man? I'm sick of seeing origin stories. I don't want to see any fucking origin stories anymore about anything.
You know what? I'll put it to you like this. I won't mind an origin story. Just don't start it with Batman, Superman, Joker. Like those three especially. Just like those main ones. Like, okay, let's do maybe not Aquaman, but let's do maybe like a really good Green Lantern movie. Let's start out with a Green Lantern movie. Let's start out with something like that. Some of those other characters that we all know, that people that watch those just from the cartoons and the comic books that watch that shit. And it's like, when are they going to finally introduce these characters? Like they had some prominent roles. Or they have some fun roles and funny things that we could be watching in these films, and they keep putting Batman, Superman, Justice League, Batman, Superman, Batman. Batman.
DC wise, I will say I like Henry Cavill as Superman.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that.
I'm a Henry Cavill fan. So
I'm not mad at that.
Yeah, I'm with it.
DC.
Like I said, I didn't mind Affleck as Batman. I just hate that now they changed it again, and now they're changing it again. Like,
I don't. Yeah, the way the Batman was done, I won't be surprised if it's not part of their DC universe that they ever had or would be trying to have.
Trying to build. If they do, that's a good start. If they do it and they're starting with that, that's a good start. I'll say that.
Yeah, and then for crying out loud, they just put out, which they do really great on. Like, their strength has always been their animated shit, but they just put out another movie that's supposed to be like more kids oriented. The superheroes, dogs, or pets or whatever.
Oh, and pets or something.
Keanu Reeves is playing Batman in that. Like, as sweet guy.
Keanu Reeves wants to play a live action older Batman.
I seen that.
Did you see that?
Yeah. Yep.
He basically wants to be the Bruce Wayne to Terry McGinnis.
That'd be interesting.
Somebody's got to be big, though. That's why I'm thinking it's going to be Affleck. Because
Affleck is
he's fucking Bruce stature.
Oh, for Bruce.
Yeah.
Okay. It doesn't have to be the exact, though, because, like, again, but how we were just discussing, what if it was Keaton? How would you guys feel if that was the old Batman, like the mentor?
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with Keaton doing it. And I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if that's what their overall intention was to get him there. But after canceling Batgirl, they're not going to have his scene in Aquaman, which is the article I read. If he's also supposed to be in the fucking Flash movie, but they're getting so much fucking heat for that now. After canceling Batgirl, and because Ezra Miller's a piece of shit.
I bet.
If it eventually gets canceled, I won't be surprised. If it comes out, I won't be surprised. It's kind of in that territory.
Yeah.
What are you thinking if you're Michael Keaton at that point?
Fuck.
What the fuck was the point of having to dress up like in this rubber fucking asshole suit?
That suit's
again.
awesome, but I get what you mean. Probably hot and uncomfortable and shit.
Yeah. I guarantee that is not a comfortable thing to wear for 12 hours a day.
If not longer. Yeah, no, you're right. No, it sucks though, and it sucks again for us fans because just hearing Michael Keaton's name in it, and not knowing how many scenes he's gonna have in the movie, I would be like, "Oh shit, Michael Keaton's in this. It's a Batgirl movie, and Keaton's in it. I'm going to see that. Like, I'm going to see that at least once. And if I really enjoy it, I'll go see it again, like a week or two later." And they didn't give it to us. Like, they didn't even.
Batgirl was meant to come straight to HBO Max, I think.
I thought it was gonna be theatrical. Either way,
yeah, I thought it was supposed to be theatrical.
No, it was gonna. If it was gonna be theatrical, it was also coming on HBO Max at the same time, just like everything WB did once for that year for the pandemic.
I mean, I feel like maybe for that movie, maybe it would have been better off streaming. Maybe I don't know how well it would have done theatrical, but I feel like either way, they got a lot of hits.
That's another thing the article I read talked about was yes, they could have revamped it, but then they talked about millions of dollars for reshoots and then millions of dollars for theatrical advertising and everything like that. And that's apparently the decision they made to run it off for tax purposes, essentially.
Wow.
Instead,
see, worst case, they should have at least said, "Fuck it, let's make it a stream only thing. Let's continue to allow the story to do what it needs to do for the future of our other projects and keep the ball rolling." Because if it's setting shit up, then keep it there. Let the fans decide on it, and then fucking you can go from there. You can get some feedback, and you can fucking improve on the shit that's to come because it ain't done yet. But
you're gonna get feedback within fucking 24 hours. I'll say less than that. Like once that movie, the millisecond that movie drops, because I know that there's people that will have a timer, whatever scheduled set up. They're like, once this movie drops, hit play on this fucking movie. Once that movie is complete, credits and all that for the purists, the 100% purists, whatever you want to call them, you're gonna have a review on it. You're gonna have a few reviews on it, and then you're gonna have reviews on top of reviews of it. And those right there, yes, there'll be a lot. It'll be like outragey if they're good or bad. But it's like, pay attention to those because the fans are speaking up. They're giving their first initial perspective on that film, like the first reaction, how that made them feel, good or bad, no matter how you felt, but that initial, like, how that made me feel. And you want it to, like, be like, You want it to be one of those movies where you're like, holy shit. Oh my, this was fucking wow. Again, like Infinity War. If you could have an ending like that, I'm gonna be hard at the end of any freaking movie.
That's an interesting aspect because you're not going to get that unless you build to it now for a series of movies. Just that reaction from Infinity War, or you haven't even watched Endgame yet, right?
Yeah, 2 weeks, I believe, right?
Oh yeah. Wait until you see the final battle of that. Just that escalation. That's not a feeling and it sounds like that's what whoever took over DC wants for fucking every movie. And you're not going to get that. You need to fucking build to it. You need to establish these characters. Agreed. And he's literally come in and shit on everything they existingly had.
I agree.
Like, no, you're not going to, if you're trying to establish a new character and you're putting it out there, you want it to be a theatrical release, fine. But no, you're not going to, you need to use that if you want to build a universe to these fucking Endgame type movies.
Well, DC wants to have a one night stand with every movie.
They do. That's what's gonna fucking kill them.
You're right about that. That's what's hurting them. They do too much and they don't do enough. They do again. They go back to doing something really good. It's like, oh my god, this had such good reviews. And okay, now let's do another Batman movie with a completely different story, completely different actor, everything's gonna be different about it. It's like we just made a really good trilogy right here. Why don't we continue? If everybody wants to write on and stick with it, why don't we continue on with this and kind of then, maybe introduce Superman in this one, introduce little bits of the Justice League, and then the most popular characters will either get their own film or they get like a film where they're side by side type of thing. Like Superman, I think it'd be too boring for their own film. So him with somebody else type of deal. Or him just in Justice League movies. Whatever the case may be. DC, wake the fuck up. Just copy Marvel's blueprint to an extent. Get your best writers on it. Get the people that really care about making these films. Not the money portion of it. They're really fans of these films, of the comic books, of the cartoons, of all that shit. And they put, yes, they pull shit from the comic books. And you can say, yes, they pull shit from the cartoons. It may have not been the comic books or whatever. But they put their own spin on it, too. They respect the others, the stories that came before, but they put their own spin on it and just make an awesome fucking connecting story or stories. And you're not doing that. Like, you do one and then you just fucking drop the ball with everything else.
And listen, I didn't follow comics as a kid. I'm a sucker for comic book movies now. I love them. I love what Marvel's done. And I feel like, just as the casual fan, I feel like DC's approach to it, to me, seems so much more of a money grab than Marvel's does.
Hell yeah. By far. By fucking far. Because
DC comes across to me, and it's a shame, just as a fucking money grab.
With Marvel, I feel like, and I could be wrong with this because I don't pay attention to actors and actors like that, I feel like when they started up, like they used Robert Downey Jr., they were officially going to use Terrence Howard for Rhodey. But they kind of got actors that, yes, they were popular, but they weren't like that high top where they are now because of the Marvel films. So it was like, yeah, you knew who these people were, but then these really brought out the characters. And they really, because they fucking blew it out the water. They did so many fucking films, blew them out the water. So now you're just like, Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man, for example.
Yeah.
Scarlett Johansson, Black Widow, and so on and so forth. And
even the character, like the actors they cast, you don't know, they become those fucking characters.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Marvel has top-notch casting ability, if anything else.
They do.
Like they're taking superheroes, they're casting superheroes, putting content out there with them that's getting much more attention than fucking DC full-fledged big name movies are.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
I think right there is your problem. First off, that's right at the top of your list. I understand wanting a big name to draw attraction. That's fine. Yeah, DC's stuck in their way of not trying to establish a person quality-wise, a character quality-wise, and build it.
But what we were just discussing, though, like I feel, especially our generation, our age, I think even the younger kids would attached to it or whatever. Michael Keaton as the old Batman. You figure out whoever could be Terry McGinnis, and then boom, you got your movie. Like, and then it could be a thing where Michael Keaton doesn't have to do too much, so you only see him. Say the first movie, you only see him sometimes in the Batcave, or you hear his voice throughout the movie. That's it. You don't see him, and then maybe the end credit you see him, or the second movie you see him, depending on how much he wants to do, whatever.
How do you not have a fucking Batman Beyond trilogy with? First off, I think you need an unknown actor as Terry McGinnis, and then the trilogy caps off with Keaton dying.
Ooh.
How is that not a fucking plan for them?
Chris wants to get me to start crying in movies now.
Exactly.
But that would be a fucking like what? I'm sure there's comics that have done it, but a movie that's done it, you're just like, what the fuck? Like, holy shit, Batman? Like, is there gonna be a? And then they end it there. They don't make a sequel. They end it there with him being dead. You're just like, fuck.
How are you not building a fucking story around that?
Could do that.
And I think I can't listen. Miles Morales is coming to the MCU at some point, and I can't fucking wait. And I can't wait to see who they fucking cast. I hope it's more of a no name. Like I recently saw. I don't know the actor's name, so I'm just going to refer to him as the black kid from Stranger Things. No offense. Yeah, as him mentioned as Miles Morales. Like, you know what? That'd be fucking cool. I think he could do it.
I don't know how DC hasn't made a fucking Static Shock movie yet.
Oh my goodness! Or
you have Black Lightning on the CW. Imagine how good a Static Shock movie or even show would be. Like,
well, they have a Blue Beetle movie in development. Whoever the fuck that is, I'm like, if I have no idea who. Like, how is that not in trouble? How do they cancel Batgirl and fucking this Blue Beetle thing that I'm sure even less people have heard of is still a go?
If you know Teen Titans and all this other stuff, then you'll know the Blue Beetle.
Yeah, but, okay.
Other than that,
he's a cool side character though. He really is. He's fun. He's Hispanic, I believe.
That's right.
Mexican. Yep.
Mexican. Okay.
But yeah, but that's another character, just like Faith with that golden helmet, that's transitioned people.
Mm-hmm.
So that has a lineage story of passing the torch type shit. People dying, like protecting, or like, you know what I mean, like good and bad sides of that kind of duality, like black Spider-Man suit and fucking good guy Spider-Man. Like,
yeah.
Speaking of, they said that fucking Tobey Maguire is going to be making an appearance in the black Spider-Man suit in the next Spider-Man movie.
So the rumor I saw, so Marvel announced Secret Wars as one of their next 2 Avengers movies. Secret Wars is
Avengers Secret Wars.
From what basically a battle against alternate realities. So it's the rumor I saw was him and Andrew Garfield will be in that as well.
Nice.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I
don't know, man.
We still haven't hit Gwen. We still haven't hit, Spider Gwen or whatever.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what the animated movie's coming out in 2023, the sequel.
After seeing Morbius, I want to see certain characters like Kraven come through and fucking start going.
Kraven movie's coming.
You know who I want to see?
There's a Kraven movie coming.
That's awesome. That's good.
I was watching. Actually, I was on HBO Max watching the not the movie, but remember the cartoon series of it, The Batman.
Yeah,
where he's wearing more of like a bluish cowl and shit. Scarface. I would love to see a movie done with Scarface. Remember
with the puppet,
the big glasses and the puppet shit. I think if they have to have the right people doing it, and they have to really knock it out the park. Maybe even have him come off as like a side character, or you see him at like the end of the movie, like just get over here, dummy, and then it shows Scarface and the old man, or just something simple like that. And you're just like, oh shit. And then they throw him in the next movie.
Like with the direction they went with The Batman, this movie that just came out with Robert Pattinson, the way they made the Riddler, I think would have been more appropriate if they would have used the character Victor Zsasz, where he's killing off people and he's keeping track of them and he's marking his own body and he's like super insane about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just feel like the fucking Riddler in this sucked, man. It wasn't the Riddler. It wasn't the Riddler.
It didn't bother me, but I agree. Like, it wasn't like the Riddler we're used to. It wasn't the Riddler we're used to. And
I mean,
It wasn't the Riddler anybody knows or recognizes from any of the Batman series.
Well, no. What I was gonna say is, I would even say for the type of, why not do with the Scarecrow and just make it like a fear thing with Batman and whoever else is involved with the people.
I think part of that is it was from the Christian Bale trilogy.
Yeah, they did that in the first Christian Bale.
No, I know, but I'm saying like having more is more of a prominent character than what he was in that.
Yeah, so many things they could have done. So many things we wish they would have done, but they didn't. Could have, would have, should have, they didn't.
Well, I mean, Matt Reeves really wanted to focus on the detective aspect of Batman's persona.
They didn't do that great of a job because he came to the answers in like 2.5 seconds every scene.
He never really figured out the answers on his own, though. But
yeah,
kind of seemed like
that's true. But he was only in year 2, so you can't forget that. So sure.
Yeah. So it'd be interesting to see where they take that.
How many? Okay, so he's in year 2 with this one, the Batman. So whatever the sequel, the Batman Part 2, whatever the fuck they call it. How many years ahead of time would you guys want it to be? Would you want it to be like 10 years ahead, where he has like 10 years of being Batman? And he's more of like a grizzly vet, not super old, but like, you know what I mean? Like, he knows what he's fucking doing now.
I don't know, man. The way they closed it with introducing the Joker at the very end, I don't think you can jump ahead a decade.
Yeah, nah. Yeah, it's gonna be within the next 2-3 years tops. You know, Joker's got to come up with his plan. He's got to meet Harley Quinn. He's got to break out. He's got to encounter Batman out there in the field. Even though it seems like they already did, because Batman goes to see him, and there's a deleted scene where he helps him figure out the mindset of the Riddler. Mm-hmm. So,
their initial stories made it look like the Joker was already in Arkham.
Yep.
So he would have been aware of him already, but he's still got to get out of Arkham. It's not like he's there on a timed sentence, I'm sure.
Yeah, so, as much as we love Batman, the development of his story with him taking on proteges that he trains, he molds, they resent him, they leave, or they die, or they change over, like, that's where, like, to me, the meat and potatoes needs to be moving forward after you establish. Because we, like you said, we already know Joker, we already know Penguin, we already know Riddler. Like, yeah, they're doing decent jobs. Like, the Penguin, I thought was super dope, and I can't wait to see, like, how he develops more into the Penguin of the Batman supervillain. You know what I mean? Not the gangster who just came up to the ranks.
Mm-hmm. Huh? Got his HBO show coming.
Nice.
Colin Farrell's playing him?
Yeah, man.
Oh, shit.
And he wants to be in the sequel to the movie, but he has his HBO show coming too.
Nice. And that that right there is a great fucking idea, DC. What you guys should do is, like, if you with the Penguin, you see bits and pieces of the Penguin. He didn't have a real prominent role, but he had like a decent role. He wasn't the head guy at the time, but you see bits and pieces of the character, and then maybe do like a little series to kind of get the build up from the movie, so you can kind of, that way if you want to tell like a backstory of that character, you have a series to do it, where people will be grasping towards that, and then have it with the story already established, and it's like boom, it's right here with it.
Like, he's got so much history as a villain and running the mob that I have no doubt you can easily put together a, 10-episode probably series on HBO of him coming to power in Gotham.
Have him like hour and a half a piece.
I'm sure it'll probably be an hour.
Mm-hmm. It'll probably be right, because an hour and a half.
I mean, the show Gotham was fucking 6 seasons, 6 seasons. So
44-minute episodes.
He wasn't in every episode there, but he definitely made a huge impact in, the rise of all that shit. And
how DC needs to build their villains if they're going to do that. They have an Arkham. They have two HBO shows coming out. They have one focused on the Penguin, and I believe one focused on just Arkham in general.
Yeah. Both sound intriguing, though. Like, I got to finish Titans, but Titans, from what I've seen, is fucking amazing. And I'm hoping the other series are at least... Shit, I'll even say as good as that is, I'll say at least half as good. But I would like it to be as good, or just like a notch under, because this is like, holy shit.
Yeah.
The only reason why I haven't finished it is just because I watch it like at night, and I'm like, all right, I don't want to fall asleep watching this. So I'll just throw something random on YouTube, like a documentary or whatever. I don't care if I doze off too, but this is not gonna be up.
And you would figure it'd be easier for them to make a better quality project out of 2 hours worth of a movie. 3 hours worth of a movie than it was for 35, 40 hours worth of a TV show. You know what I mean? There's a
I
lot
mean,
more for you to keep track of and fucking remember and keep coinciding with with
It's
itself.
true,
yes and no,
but
because at the same time, you could put more of those ideas in and make them make sense. Like, okay, so season one can be, or if you only do 10 episodes of one season, so the first 2 episodes can kind of be let's introduce the 10 main characters. Let's really get their backstories within these first 2 to 3 episodes, and then let's get the rest of the story after that. Let's get really dive into it after that.
I guess it depends on your train of thought. If you really want to establish the background to a character, the TV show gives you the time to do that. If you're talking about a movie 2 to 3 hour range, you only have so much time to focus on
That's true.
certain things.
That's
And
true.
I guess with the shows, I mean, if it's an hour or 45 minutes, whatever it is, like each episode, like you'll just be like, oh my god, like I gotta watch a fucking another one. Like I gotta watch. It's like you'll spend a day to watch the whole first season if you could. Like if you have nothing to fucking do for that day or two, you will watch the whole first season of whatever show that is that just intrigues you and grabs you in. Especially if your significant other wants to watch it with you, then you're just like, holy shit, let's get some food, let's get some snacks, let's get a couple drinks, and let's just fucking kick our feet up and just watch this shit all fucking day. That's it. That's all we're doing. So give us that, DC. Give us some good shows.
Indeed. I think we spent more time talking about superheroes than we did at either of the movies.
Pretty much. Yeah, I gotta go take a dump.
I really gotta.
I gotta go pookie.
For all we know, he's naked.
Sure. So let's wrap this up. And Chris can go poop and put some pants on.
I don't wanna. That's me, top left, worst damn gamer ever. You can catch me streaming pretty much almost every day of the week over on Twitch. So make sure you like, subscribe, go check out the YouTube channel. I've been putting in tons of work to organize it up, get it all set up for you guys with accurate titles, descriptions, tagging, so it's easier to find. Thank you for all your support on TikTok. Continue to go over to the TikTok, engage with the content there, follow there. I'm trying to get to 1,000. That's my current goal. So help me out. Let people know I'm there. Share the content. Say what's up to me in the comments. Pretty much everywhere. I appreciate y'all. And then our boy Dreams, the creator, pretty much anything in digital media, he's got a hand in. He knows how to do. He can help you do it. He can teach you how to do it. He can pretty much capture moments for you. He can shoot videos for you. He can do photo shoots, fashion shoots, whatever it is, nature shoots, real estate. If you need any of his services, you can go find him on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. You can let him know that Sir Sturdy and or the Worst Damn Gamer sent you, and he will hook you up with a sweet, sweet, sweet deal. And then our boy Kyle, the Angry Canadian up in Canada, running so good it's scary. Love his content over on TikTok. Super interactive. You can duet and stitch a lot of the stuff. It's great horror stuff on his Facebook as well, his Instagram. Also, if you have a project that's 30 minutes or less, you can let him know. You can send it to his Facebook, and he can actually get in contact with us, and we can actually do a review live on one of the podcasts on the Z Network. Sturdy will give you more information on that. And then our girl, Joe of Any Last Words, not only does she have all of her socials up with Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, TikTok, she also has started her own actual magazine for the horror. She has stuff up on her pages from recipes and origin, ghost stories and stuff like that, to pretty much reviews, conversations, great shit. She's got a Patreon. Go support. Go let her know the boys at the Z Network say, what up, girl?
Yo, people, what's good? What's crack-a-lack-a-lackin'? Which, within the next couple of weeks, give me some time. There will be some changes with these overlays at the end. There's going to be more of the Z Network kind of being cycled in and out for those who aren't here with us live. But and that's just so that the whole network can be shown and loved and all that stuff. Because you guys should definitely check the whole Z Network out. But yeah, people, Horror Star Sturdy every Tuesday and Thursday, 8 o'clock Eastern time. You guys should definitely come sit with us, have a review with us. Friday nights I do Sir Sturdy's watch parties. # Watch with Sturdy, and it's fun. It's fun as fuck. I'm gonna keep doing it between on Horror Star Sturdy and on Popcorn and Pints. I'll actually be back in 2 weeks because next weekend is a con. So in 2 weeks, as far as the Watch with Sturdy, and we'll be watching the movie. It's a movie called Duel, some like horror car movie or whatever. So I'm gonna get that. It's on YouTube. We're gonna watch that and have some fun. And so yeah, Tuesday and Thursday, and Fridays at 9:30. Now it's Popcorn and Pints every Saturday, 9 o'clock Eastern Time. As you guys seen, this was a long episode, believe it or not. Longer than we've had in a while, it seems. But
shit, you could cut this thing right where we started doing the the superhero stuff, and it could be its own episode.
Damn near. But so we're gonna be back. I guess you'd call him more of an anti-hero in 2 weeks.
Fuck yeah!
Next weekend is the con, so we're gonna get a little breaky break, and we're gonna be back in 2 weeks, and we're gonna be reviewing Deadpool 1 and 2 for James's birthday month picks. His birthday was in January, but hey.
I'm as excited as James. Can't wait to watch these movies again. It's been a long time.
For the first time. But yeah, so make sure you guys tune into that. And of course, Stories from a Bar. He actually did a back-to-back podcast. Like he was just drinking and jerking off all day, then stopped jerking off to this podcast. And then he's gonna jerk off after the podcast.
One hand on my junk, one hand on the microphone. That's how I roll.
That's why he's so tired after every podcast.
I'm exhausted.
See? Drinking and jerking. At least he's being safe about it. Yeah. But anyways, check out his awesome podcast. You're gonna get some amazing brewery talk. You're gonna get some music on there, some independent artists, some independent creators, musicians, all that great stuff that you may want to check out their music. You should check out their music.
Not May. You will want to.
You will. May is just a month. Just remember that. Check it out. Check it out. Check out the Z Network. There's so many awesome podcasts on there, people. Thanks for popping by.
Spider-Man's on.
Huh?
I said that's also Spider-Man's on.
Yes, she is.
Remember, it's till May.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of Spider-Man, also, have you ever nutted in your hand and thrown it at the wall? There you go.
And on that note, people, thanks for popping by. Peace. See you in Numero Dos.
Christmas. Thanks for popping the cork.
There we go.
There's a term for it. Maybe it's